Alrighty, Doc here from North America. TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. And what do we got going on here? We have the stock indices all turned back up again. I saw Tokyo up 2.5%. South Korea is closed for the holiday. What was it called? Independence Day or something like? No, I don't think it's Independence Day, but it was something like that. And what else do we got brewing here? You can see the. Oh, where's the Swiss? I had the Swiss up there a few seconds ago. What was I looking at? Oh, that's gold again. And let's go back to the Swiss. I have it up on J4X too, right there. You can see it's moving up. So obviously the dollar is stronger. And when we're looking at 10-year rates now back down into the, 144 area. So the U.S. 10-year rates are floating in that area. China, I saw China's 10-year rate. Supposedly they had not moved too much through this last for the bond vigilantes. It's yielding about 3.5%. So, ouch. So you got to imagine the 10-year boon is yielding like a half a percentage point or a third, something like that, and a minus. So in other words, you pay to own a boon, and whereas China will give you 3.5%, U.S. will give you about 1.4. Italy will give you about 0.40. So the bond markets across the planet are definitely different than what they have been, that's for sure. And the bond vigilantes march on. All right. So you can see here the strength. Let's go to Chicago Quant 2. Where's the mousey at? There's mousey. And as you can see there, there's that all the way up. I guess we can move that up even more. Like that. Oh. Let's move that up more. Like so. This way it gives us a little bit more. No, I want to see the numbers at the same time, but it does give us a little bit more view down here. Like that. And at the same time we can see this type of action there. And so you can see we are holding up. The Swiss is not letting go. Let's see. Why can't I see that? There it is, like that. That's a little bit better. And that's really what it comes down to. Let's see if we can lift this up a little bit more. Grab a hold of it. I guess I have to pick it up like that. Where can I pick this up? There it is. There we are. It seems to be a little bit better. And now I can see it says Swiss there too at the same time. That's what I want to see. All right, and so you can see the weekly being very firm, daily holding up. It tried to flirt its way into the sell here that day, but we got the two dots. So no there. Hey, Robin. Thank you. I saw what came in the the thing on Saturday too. Thank you, thank you. Good old Butler. And let's see what's brewing here. The markets are kind of firm and sideways, and the stock market's obviously up. They didn't give me a chance to even get remotely into it. They gapped it up right off the opening last night and just kept on running from there. It tripled in price from where it started from, and that is that when it comes to these stock markets. And I guess when you really look at it, the only place to get a financial return is in the stock markets. They pay a dividend, they pay something. And at the same time, the central banks are holding these things in value, so it has a nice appreciation. So between the two of those events, or circumstances, or however you want to describe it, it's one of the only places to go to. And I guess that's why we're seeing Tokyo as high as Tokyo is. I think, let me take a look and see. But I would say that Tokyo must be playing with the 31,000 area. I mean, we have. It's been a long time since we saw that indice on the planet find its way above that area. Let me just go take a look at it real quick. We'll find it. It's around here somewhere. Not there. There we go. And the answer to that question is, as it loads up on another device we have here. Let's see. Nikkei, no, 29,000. It's up 697 points. I thought it would be back to the 31 because we did see 30. So it's at 29,663, up almost 700 points. It topped out I think it was in 1992, which is like 20, what's that, 29 years ago now, at the 39,000 area, and had not seen it again since. So that is something to always think about. The DAX is very firm too. You can see up 114 or so. Well, no, I'm not putting it up actually at the moment. And the CAC Quarante is up 70, and London is up 85. So their money is moving right back to the only place it can get some type of return. I see Dow Jones 30,932. Yeah, down was at 469. Yeah, and today it's up 300 points. Let's throw that up on the screen. Let's go right to Dow. There's the Dow future, trading at 31,000. That whatever it is, almost 200. And you can see, no more than 3 days ago, we were flirting with the 32,000 area, and then this one brought it back down below 31,000, and they're picking it up a little bit. Now you can see, look at this action right here, the weekly. They have spiked that thing, whereas the daily, nah, not particular. Daily is still holding down. Let me refresh that. There we go. And we'll widen it out like so. And you can see there. I mean, it's, it's dropped over 1,000 points over a 3-day period. Markets are, again, the only place you can really get a decent return, when you're parking money, is these stock markets. All right. Let's take a look at the euro. Oh, wrong product. Or wrong page. There it is. And there is the euro, still moving down, just as the Swiss franc, as we pointed out right here, is moving up on the J4X there. And you can see, oh, how come the line's not in there? I know I put the line in there over the weekend. And we went back into a weekly sell in this product. 1 week in, 1 week out. That's where it is at the moment. And it closed on Friday in a sell. What's the fact check spreadsheet say? 14, yeah, 1 day in a sell. Whereas cable right above it is 2 days in a sell. So the action is, the pressure's on specifically for only one reason as far as I can tell, and that is the bond market. I heard that, was it the Royal, I'm a little laugh and make a statement at the same time. The Royal Bank of Australia accidentally, maybe it was a fat finger, I'm not sure, accidentally bought twice the amount of bonds they were supposed to. So, they were doing like our Federal Reserve does, and they bought like I'm not sure if it was 3 billion or 3 million or whatever it was, but they accidentally did twice the amount, which really put a little charge into the whole globe. I guess someone at the Federal Reserve called the Royal Bank of Australia and said, "Look, we'll throw you a few $1 billion, just double the bid, double the bid, double the size of the market that we want." And zoom, it went off, and that supposedly put a real charge into the world markets. And then there's cable doing the same thing, but held up in its weekly buy right there. But it's a couple days in the sell, went into the sell right there. Let's put that line in there. There we are. And it seems like it's stalled out at the moment. I don't think there's going to be too much change going on. I think that these things are always in a channel of some form. They don't want them to go too far. I even saw the Turkish lira after being in a buy for like 4 or 5 days. As I look, line 17, 5 days in a daily buy. Right there. Today it's pushed into the sell. It flirted its way by was it ZZZ1. Got into the weekly buy. And not doing too good a job about it. I guess we should have left it alone, eh? I guess I should have waited for both of those, the plot 1 and plot 4, to show us a number. Because look at that, it's pushing down. Unless they turn it back up, we'll be back into the saddle again of the sell side with a daily sell at the same time. The daily sells giving you the warning right here of like, okay, you might have, well, it would have been hard to get long because it's in a weekly sell here. So anybody that did buy into it had it because they had no choice. They had to, they were doing currency translation for somebody or an institution or something of that nature. But in the end result, we saw what the short-term daily did. It went about 50, which is pretty impressive. Now it's rolling over again. We'll see how long that holds up. All right. Heading over to Canada. Canada is lower today, but closed in a daily buy. Still in a weekly sell. Canada has been Canada. It has been looking relatively firm. It's kind of been like a place to hide out of this all this noise over the last month. It seems like, look at that channel between the 126s and the 130. It's just hanging out quietly, not disturbing anybody. It's kind of like a safe zone. And then we take a look at the the NASCAD was at line 23. It went into a daily sell, which was interesting. I don't think it's the beginning of anything particular, but look at that. White line is piercing down this week through the time manifold, still in a weekly buy. And you can see here, we went into the sell on Monday. It's still down. So some type of pressure is being built on this product. And since we're seeing that down and we see the Canadian firm are flat and up, then chances are that the energy sector is probably flat to down. So let's take a look at that. I have not looked today. And there it is right there. It's up a little bit. I would have thought it would have been flat and to down. You can see here it's playing with a daily sell too at the same time. There we are. So that pressure's on, but look at the weekly. It doesn't. Look at this. The size of that bar is the same size as that bar. I mean, they're not really pushing on this at all. But as we drive around here, fuel prices have gone from about like 210 to about 290. We've added 80 cents, almost a full dollar. And that's definitely a freak out. Let's see where we're at. Crude right there. And let's see. Now we're using the May contract in natural gas. Well, it looks a little firmer today, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that. Flirting with, okay, we got a red and a green dot, and we closed in the weekly sell. And it's just about unchanged from Friday. It opened up and is knocking it down a little bit. We'll see how they hold up. You can see some little buying trying to come in here. We need that red dot to disappear to get this into a daily buy. It's a quiet Monday, isn't it? Everybody is like getting over the weekend of some form. Alright, that's the two energies. Usually we'll tune in bean oil somewhere along the line, so we'll get there. And then we go back to the currencies. And you can see here the ruble. Wrong product page. There it is. Let's check out the ruble there. You can see the ruble's been a bit daily buy a couple days, but today is it's still in it. But let's see. Let's give it a refresh. It's still in it, but it's down from Friday. And our weekly is pushing even harder down. And then let's take a look at that yen. Yen cruising along with a daily buy for the last 3 days. This is the fourth day right there. And we're in a weekly buy for, what's that, 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 full day, eight full weeks in the yen in a weekly buy. Going on a ninth. So I guess, let's see, so currency goes up over there. So there's more yen to a dollar. So I guess that's losing value. Okay, that's what that is. And so what we're really seeing in Japan is a little more perk in the stock market. And currency is just sideways to up at this point for weeks now. 8 whole weeks. Right there. As you can see there. And that is that when it comes to the yen. I see it on J4X. I want to see that on J4X. I want to see where the lines are. Well, that didn't work, did it? Wow. There it is right there. Definitely firm and climbing at the top end of its range. Good old yen. Well, I used to trade that for 500 yen to the dollar. I remember that. 400 yen to the dollar, 800 yen to the dollar. It was wild times. Can you imagine that? Now it's just like 1 yen to the dollar. It's definitely something to think about, that's for sure. All right, and was it like Daniel or something said something about the Zolty going to 360? I was like, wow, that's. I mean, maybe he meant 460. That'd be a very tenacious move. Let's just put it up on J4X because you can see back further with J4X. It's probably like one of the best currency pairs out there. Stable, firm. And it's not bad. There it is right there. Pretty tight range between the 440s and the 465s maybe. That's an awful tight range for what's that? That's going back 2 years. Back to 19, isn't that 19? No. Let's put a weekly up there. Looks like it. There we go. It'll fill in. Even back in 2016, it only got down into the was that 420s. He must have meant for something. I thought about that over the weekend. It's amazing. People text things in on the chat line here, and I actually think about them days after they were said. And I was thinking, 360. That's hard to believe. I remember when he said it, I said, 360? Really? I think I said something off the cuff like, this decade? The way this thing trades, it'd be hard to believe that we would see 360 in the Zolty against the euro. Let's go back to the daily there with that. And then, let's see. So there's the Zolty. What else will we take a look at? It's quiet today. No one has anything to say. Let's take a look at the Peso. Showing a little weakness there. And you see here, it's been in that daily sell now for, what, from here? Yeah. It's widened out a little bit. Yeah, it went into the daily sell here. Went back into the daily buy here. We're in a weekly buy. And has, it's going up the next day. And it's a winner with that chicken dinner. But it's not really going anywhere particular now. Today they're trying to take a little profit in there. 47, how you doing today? Yeah, dollar CAD. Let's take a look at that again. There it is right there. Kind of quiet, a little firm. You can see we're in the weekly sell now for 3 full weeks, going on a 4th. We have 1 day in a daily buy, and it's going nowhere. And it's tough to take solely because we're in a weekly sell. I don't. I was thinking about something this morning about. I was thinking about how. What was I thinking? I was thinking about how a lot of this stuff is going nowhere. They're trapped in ranges, and they're not really let loose to take advantage of going anywhere. They're not allowed to. They keep them in a range. That's it. And I imagine it's the same way with the CAD. The CAD's going to stay in its range, and you play the tops and buy the bottoms, that type of thing. I don't really see a lot of energy in this market today, except for in the stock market. That's where they and the Royal Bank of Australia did something that stirred the pot by buying twice the amount of bonds that they were supposedly buying. So, I mean, that's the only way I can interpret any of this at this point. So anyway, there's the dollar CAD. It's holding up firm. Made a nice bounce the last couple of days, and almost went into the weekly buy there last week. Look at it, it's just missed it by the hair of its chinny chin. Oh, no problem. Now, let's see what else we got brewing in here. It's kind of neat. There's London. And maybe that's not London. Because I would think it would be plus. Oh, I know. They're not updating it. That's what it is. Won't update for another 10 minutes. And let's see what else we can look at here in the currency universe. Let's see what South African Rand's doing. Firm. But still in a weekly sell. So there's no real love for this product, that's for sure. All right, let's go take a look at the metals market unless someone wants to see anything particular. And there is silver. Boy, that rip your face off rally does not have any legs to it whatsoever. That was it right there. Rip your face off rally. And it's been down below it ever since. So those GameStop vigilantes have no power when it comes to the metals market. Let's see, what product is that again? Oh yeah, that's silver. And you can see silver has been in a daily sell for a few days since here, and weekly sell since way back further, right there, since the close of this week. So only thing left is, and it's interesting. Silver, gaps down and holds firm. They take the gold vigilantes, try to do something with it, and you can see it's firm, but it's not really going anywhere. That seems to be the recipe for a lot of these commodities. Let's save that. Right there. Then NQs. NQs are trying to perk up. This is the stock in. Oh, wait, no, we're doing metals. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, traders. I'll save it just because I have it right there. But let me go over to. That was silver. Let's go to gold. And there's gold. It's just a little bit up from yesterday. But you can see the daily has its pressure still. And obviously the weekly, same situation. It's been in a weekly sell for 2, 4, 6, 8. Trying to go on a 9th week in a sell. I was trying to think who was saying something about that. Someone sent me something over this morning on an email about the fundamentals in gold, and I thought to myself, my God, I don't know if any of these fundamentals really work anymore. I have not seen it. And then there's a copper, which is kind of interesting. Copper went into a daily sell there on Friday. You can see it's perked its head back up again, but we're in weekly buy, so you couldn't take the short overnight. Let's give that a refresh. There we go. Save that. I think I had a dream last night that I was trading in the copper pit at the old World Trade Center. Let's see, right there. And then, oh, the platinum. Let's just see where the platinum spread is. So I'm going to throw gold up on J4X. And we'll put platinum up on the Chicago Quant, and we'll get a feel for where the market is. Okay, so 1738 basically. And let's go to platinum. Right there. Platinum's trading at 1219. Let's give it a refresh. So 1219 minus 1738, that is 519. So it's drifted a little bit back down. It only ran up into the mid 30s, I think it was, the spread. It came off of that $496 the spread, and it bounced up to the 530ish something, and now you can see it's moving back down into the teens. All right, and that is for the metals complex resolved. Then we can take a look at the stock indices, unless someone wants to see something. But it's such a quiet day. Only if it wasn't for 47, we'd have no questions no questions at all today, or things to look at. I just do the rhythm at this point. Now look at the S&P. The weekly's jumped up, whereas over here on NASDAQ, it's still staying down on the weekly. No problem there. You can see the green line trying to lift up because it's a 3.5 and the I believe, let's see which one is which. The 3 is plot 1 is the green, so it's trying to lift up, and the 5 is the plot 6. Okay. And so the pressure is sideways. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Now, they got it up on an intraday, nice firm, but again, we're in a weekly sell, so you have to be careful there. And then you can see plot 1 is actually 1030. It's actually plus. So the histogram is minus. That's plot 6 down 211, and the plot 1 is plus 10. Hey George, how you doing? Did I do? Yeah, but I can go back to crude. I mean, we didn't really talk about it too much. We just took a look at it and ran. Let's see, what was I looking at for? Okay, yeah. So let's save this. Let's take a look at it. Okay, there we are. And back to crude. Back to the future. There it is. Yeah, you see here it's flirting with a daily sell, but it's in a weekly buy. So they're just doing mild correcting, nothing major there. And you can see this thing is even actually higher today than it was on Friday. So there's definitely some buying going on at the moment. And we're in a weekly buy, so I guess that justifies it there. Right there. And then at the same time, the daily is trying to roll over. None of these rollovers in here. I mean, this thing's been in a weekly buy for a while. Since November. What is that? That is line 6 on the fact check. And so it's 14 weeks in a buy going on 15. And it's been a nice move on the upside there in the crude. From the low 40s to the low mid 60s. So it's been a very impressive move. Let's see, crude up 77 now in April. What's up 77? Crude? 70? Oh, up 77 from. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so it closed on Friday at 61.50, and right now it's trading at 62.31, as you can see right there. Now 30. So it's 77. I see what you're saying. Yeah, 77 up. It's definitely firm. That's for sure. Oh, let's give you a better view of it too, right there. You can see it's been in a weekly buy for a while there. It's been pretty orderly. Oil overall has been very orderly. All right. Let's see. We can take a look at stocks like that with coffee. We look at that. Oh, wait a minute. Let's finish off this too. I did the energies. All right. So let me do the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And there it is right there. Look at that weekly also. It's ripped up. And the daily is very firm. No green dot. And it's still minus here. So I imagine what they may try to do is try to pull this stuff back again. Alright, let's take control of that. I got a text. I just want to clean it up. There we are. Done. Alright. Let's save the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Move that down like that. There we go. So the daily is not lifting very well on the histogram, but it is up easily in the stock price itself, and the weekly is doing the same thing. They're both ripping on the upside. Up, up, and away. And our beautiful balloon. All right, next is the stock indices. Oh, let's take a look at, not that one, the other one right underneath it. There it is, the Russell 2000. Down for a couple of days, but also picking up today. And still in that weekly buy. I think, let's see what that says. Where's my glasses? So it's still in a weekly sell. That's what it is. Is it? No, wait a minute. It's still in a weekly buy because plot 1 is minus 252. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. We didn't even look at this last week. The Russell on Friday. We don't have it on the fact check spreadsheet. That's why. So I didn't even pay attention. But it actually went into a weekly sell too with the other products. That seems to be the leader too. We've been seeing that it has been leading, not following, but leading all that turmoil over on the short side. That's exactly what it's been too. All right, so that takes care of the stock indices. Oh, let's take a look at bonds while we're over there. There's the 10-year. You can see lifting up. When it lifts up, interest rates are dropping. And you can see the daily is still in a sell, weekly still in a sell. And then, let me just save this just in case. And then, over here, in the 30-year, which is becoming, we've talked about this, where it's becoming more and more popular. Let's give it a refresh. But the 30-year, in contrast, is moving back down again. And you can see it, did it close in a sell? No, it didn't close in a buy there. Plot 1 is minus, and plot 5, no, minus. That's okay, so that doesn't belong in there. We'll remove that. And it's still rolling along. Still in a weekly sell since back here. And we'll see. It looks like they're knocking the 10-year or the 30-year down even more. Save that. People are starting to get into that, the 10-year. I'm seeing a lot more interest in it, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, with the starvation of yield, why not? I mean, you can always buy and sell those things. All right, let's see. So that pretty much shows us the stock indices, the metals, and the energies, and the bonds. That's cool. And we can ship over to the stock indice there. Oh, let's see what like something like coffee's doing. We actually have a client that's actually paying attention to that stuff now, which is nice. Let's see, right there. And this is the ETF. That's Apple. You can see Apple's been in a weekly sell for a couple of weeks now. 2 full weeks, going on a third. And daily sells way back here because I figured you couldn't get into a buy on that because it was red dots. So it's been in a weekly sell since here. Is that it? 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. Yeah. So it's been in a sell since right here, and it's tried to get into buys and failed at it. And now we're showing strength here this morning. And there is coffee. I still haven't updated it yet. I guess nobody wants to trade it at the moment. Let's see what the dollar index was. A little of a surprise, not much. I kept on thinking it was going to try to turn back up. I think we're now on a second week of a weekly buy in that. Yeah, this is starting the second week. And they're holding up higher, that's for sure, than Friday's close. There we go, we can save that. That's a dollar index. Doesn't take much to get it back up into the highs, does it? I know 27 or 28 is the actual high, but it is impressive how that they have not been able to sell it down. Yeah, right there. 29 back in March last year during the panic. That was that whole panic right there from the volatility funds going under. So that is that. We're going to leave it on like that. We'll just catch up with it later when it finally fills in. Alright. And there's back to the Forex, and that's the Peso. Just showing some nice life in it, which is nice. Alright. Anything else, George? I guess not. Well, if you think about it, just throw it out there. Oh, yeah, that's a South African rand. Nice. But it's still stuck in a weekly sell. All right. What's next around here? Let's see. What other currencies do we look at? Oh, there's the kroner, right? Let's see what that's doing. Showing a nice little life in that. A couple days in a buy. Last week went into a weekly buy. Now it needs to perk that back up again. Meats. Yeah, we can take a look. Grains, sure. Go back to silver. Silver we have right up there already. So here's silver. It's really quiet silver. I mean, they cannot seem to get this thing rolling along. This is that rip your face off rally for the GameStop vigilantes. It didn't last. Just one day. And then let's go check out the grains. And so got to open them up too. All right. And there it is. Here it comes. There we go. There's wheat. Wheat's been in a weekly sell now for what's that? 4 weeks. The other two are in buys. I mean, beans went back into the buy yesterday or last Friday. And you can see here, flirting with the sell today on the daily, and still in a weekly sell when it comes to Chicago wheat, Chicano wheat. Why is that there? Oh, I think I need to put a red in there like that. There we go. And that's the action we're seeing in the wheats. Now let's check out. Well, I'm here. I might as well save that. Let's take a look at red wheat too, since we're flirting with the wheats. Let's see what the red wheat looks like. Red wheat. Red, red, red. There we go. There's the red wheat. It closed in a sell on Friday and it's been in a weekly sell for 2 weeks. That's kind of interesting. Let's give it a refresh too. Now let's take a look at, you said grains. Let's see, some meats. Want to see some meat? We can see some meat. And then there is hogs. Now hogs closed on Friday, but I think, oh, okay. So now let's remove that and give it a refresh. Oh, I see why. And so the green line is still above the 0 line. So it's right on the edge. Let me put that back in there like that. And that's the Hagaroos. All right, now there's the other side of the meats. Cattle sell for a bunch of days there and closed in a weekly sell last week. Let's give it a refresh. Meats. Move that down. Meat. There it is. April meat. Cattle. Now let's take a look at feeders. Let's see. J, that would be April. There we are. And it didn't make it, did it? Oh, it did. -2 and -3. Okay. So it's feeling the pain. Look at that weekly. Just on the hair of its chinny chin. This thing might be making a move in a new direction. But, you know, we've not seen any real selling in any of these products. They just seem the beat goes on. It doesn't stop them any. Let's see. It's which feeder is that? That's the April feeder. There it is. All right, so we did the 3 meats: hogs, cattle, and then the feeders for the cattle. The future growth. We did grains. What else can we look at in grains? Let's see what the corn's doing. There's March corn. Ah, look at that. March corn is flirting with a weekly sell. Far out. And we do a little circly thing. That's what it is. Like that. The warning. There we go. No, not much action there. And that is the corn. Now I think we're following December corn too, so we can take a look at that because this is March corn. Right there it is, deck corn. And you can see pressures on that, but not nowhere near with the back month. This is new crop compared to what we're seeing now, which is the March is old crop. See what the difference is price wise. Okay, 555 basically, so that's 55 points. And then, where's it at, right? There's deck. And deck, 555 minus 70 basically, so it's 85, 84. 84-cent difference from back new crop to old crop. Little demand there. But you can see it's still in the weekly buy, daily buy, holding firm. Let's see. And that is deck corn, so let's put that in there. Right there. What else is there? Oh, I know what it is. It was the... We did that, but we didn't do is... that other feeder. Is nobody paying attention to it now, I guess? Something doesn't seem right. Where's the product we save? That's activated. Okay, so we'll go like this and save that. And that's the December corn. Deck corn. That's interesting. So that's holding up in a daily buy and a weekly buy. So the new crop is not being sold. Maybe just a little pressure from the old crop, and that's about it. Now that's interesting. This is this was Friday's close in that product on April of 2022. It's a year away. That's something. And there's that. We just, they've both been weak. I guess someone's got to take delivery of this stuff, so sometimes the prices get pushed down from it. All right, I guess we've answered that one, didn't we? So we did corn and wheat, unless you want to see beans. All right, what else can we look at here? Let's go back to the Forex a little bit right there. And maybe coffee updated by now. Let's go see if coffee's updated. There it is right there. Still nothing. Interesting. All right. What else is left to do? Let's see. Let's go back and look at some of the currencies again. And this is what we sent out last week. So daily sell, weekly sell. And the pressure's still on. And in cable, boy, I really thought they were going to be popping the cable. I really did. But it doesn't seem like it has any lift whatsoever in it. So we're in a weekly buy and a daily sell. There's an interesting one. The yen against the Australian dollar. This thing has been, when you can see it on the spreadsheet. Is it on the spreadsheet? No, I don't think it is. what is amazing about this is look at the longevity of this weekly trend. Oh no, I guess I'm looking at the wrong one. So it's only been like, was it 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, well, 15. 15 weeks is pretty good. And last couple of days they've put some pressure on it. Whoop, let's go this way like that. Just one tick in more like that. Let's see if we can get like that. There we go. I guess one more tick to be able to get all of it in. Like that. There we are. And you can see it's trying to lift back up again, but look at the daily. They've taken it down. We haven't been this low on our algorithm in months. And you can see the weekly, it hasn't even budged. It's actually doing the opposite. It's trying to lift back up. All right. What else? Let's go take a look at what the action looks like in the marketplace. And if someone wants to see something, we can always do it. You can see here, NASDAQ, or what they call the Tech 100 on Dukascopy, is, let's put it up on Dukascopy. It's trading at up about $1.60. Is it $1.60? Yeah, $1.60. It's a lot, 160 points. Wonder if they'll sell this market down later on today. Let's find it. The Tech 100. Right. There it is. 13,075, the cash. So you can see right there. Let's see. Oh, Robin asks, ask your question, don't hold back. I appreciate that, Robin. Push on them. Yeah. No, let me think. What else we got going? That's just the stock indices. That just the NASDAQ and the S&P. I thought we could try to buy that today, but boy, they didn't give us a chance whatsoever. I don't know how long that'll hold up during the trading day here. But you can see there it's bouncing around, nothing major. When we look at the actual dailies, is that it? Right there. There we are. The actual dailies themselves. No, that's not it. Right there it is. Right there. There's the NASDAQ. It's trying to show some life in it, but neither of these two are cooperating whatsoever. You have to wonder if they're not going to try to take a little bit more profits in the techs, you know, the things that have had so much of a success in over the year. Let's take a look at that. Let's see, was it right there? Stock index, stock, right there. Yeah, let's take a look at Apple and some of these others, unless someone wants to see something. It's got my curiosity up now. So there is Goldman. Goldman's one that had a nice run for the whole year of last year. Let's see if we can find that. I mean, Goldman at the beginning of the year, I guess in January, got up to almost $50 a share. Fell down to 138, and now look at it, trading at 323. So that has participated enormously well. Now that's Goldman Sachs, which is kind of a bank at this point. Matter of fact, I saw where the head of like marketing retail department has moved over. I guess something to do with commercial, like credit cards and so forth, have jumped over to Walmart. Now look at Apple. Apple, you know, was in the, let's see, where's it at? Right there. Was trading in the 73 area. That's it. 73 area at the beginning of last year. Traded up to 80s. Had its calamity situation with the, you know, the COVID. Came back, did the V bottom, and now it's trading at 100 and something, right? 128, 27. Mm, that's obviously an all-time high right there. And so it's trading at 123 now. We've been in a daily sell on this thing since like back here. Yeah, it's been in a daily sell. Oh, I guess it went into a daily buy for a little bit one day and then right back into the daily sell again. And it's going nowhere. So this thing's been dragging along on the sell side for months now. Or I guess a full month? Yeah. Since January, we've been in a daily sell. Right there. At 142.06. So it's dropped about $20, which is kind of impressive. And at the same time, it is the biggest stock in the world. Again, people are reaching for anything that pays a return, and this has some type of return and appreciation. So that game is going on, and it's not going to stop. They don't have a choice. They have to do something. They need to get some type of return. They need to make some type of money. All right, and that is the. Oh, okay. You can't see that, can you? Right there. There it is. It's been in the sell since there, since its top here. It is amazing. That is for sure. Amazing, amazing. And then, oh, I know what I want to look at, like Amazon. Look at Amazon. There it is. So there, it was. Amazon was trading in the $1,800 area at the beginning of 2020. Fell all the way down to the $1,600 area with the Corona. Went totally V, V bottom. And so 1,800 to what's today's? Well, today's trading at 3,100, and the high now is 3,500. Almost doubled this year. I mean, it's awful hard not to take some profits out of some of those things that have doubled like that, especially a company like that. You want to take something out of it. I mean, you don't have to sell a major position, just, sell like, 3% or 5% just to say you sold in the threes. Because if there was ever a calamity, which I kind of doubt, I don't really have a lot of confidence that the Fed is willing to let any of these markets really drift down. They did it once on a very odd level. Remember, it was very volatile back in February, March. And so the Fed was doing its best to hold things up, and the hedgers that were going out of business at the time, like in the bond vigilante or the GameStop vigilante situation, was trying to fight on for dear life. When you sell, we've talked about this, when you're selling option volatility, it's not a good thing when you have to cover. It gets very expensive. So that is the real action there in some of these products. Let's see what Google did. Did Google double also? And Google was trading at the 1300. Yeah, that's good enough. We can call it the 1300, 1339, 1368. So we'll say 13 and a half. Round it out. Right now it's trading at over $2,000 with a high of almost over 21. So 13 and a half. So it didn't double, but it was close. Whereas Amazon actually doubled, which is an incredible move right there alone. All right, traders. I guess that's about it. We got to come up with a title here today. It's like, could call it Quiet Monday, but we have to have something better than that. Let's see, what can we call it? How about, what we might do, just play up the idea of we looked at the metals. That might be well worth paying attention to at this point, because I don't think anybody has any real clear direction. Let's see. All right, traders. So we will catch you on Tuesday. Maybe everybody will be a little bit more enthusiastic, have a little hunger. And we'll call today gold and silver. There we go. All right. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our cyber trading friends. Ta-ta.